Hello, this is John McGran, CEO of Drive Social Media in Dubai. This training video is entitled 20 Ways to Connect with Targets on LinkedIn. I'm going to start with some general pointers for you. Number one, a little reminder that LinkedIn is a networking site, so it's not somewhere where you arrive, start pitching and promoting. Of course, there are opportunities to generate sales leads for those of you in business, but the way to do that is to be a good networker. Number two, do have a professional profile. So make sure that your profile is fully filled out, looks professional, looks interesting, lots of recommendations. And I have dealt with that in a previous training video. Number three, make sure that you can be found. On LinkedIn, it's not all about you looking for people. It's nice when they find you as well. And the way to do that is to use keywords. So if you're in the financial services industry, make sure you have the keywords in your headline, in your summary, in your job title, and in the description of each job title as well. So I would suggest for financial services, those keywords would include financial advisor, wealth manager, education planning, tax planning, life assurance, and pensions, for example. Okay, so make sure that you can be found when people are searching. In the UAE, for example, for a financial advisor, make sure that you're coming up on the first 1 or 2 pages. Okay, number 4, know your target audience. So if you've exhausted your list of people that you know in the real world, then you need to think about how to connect and how to build a bigger network. My suggestion would be to target people on LinkedIn where you feel comfortable. Okay, so a couple of examples in recent weeks. One was Stefan, who was a member of the British Armed Forces. So I suggested to Stefan he use keywords like Armed Forces, Army, Navy, Air Force in his search in the UAE. Quite a number of people who fit the bill came up, copy and paste those into an Excel spreadsheet, tidy it all up, and then with the 20 ways I'm going to explain soon, start connecting with those people. Another example was James, who's an Irish guy. He's likely to feel comfortable talking to Irish people initially or connecting with Irish people. So again, use the keyword Irish in an advanced search within the UAE. Copy and paste those returns into Excel, tidy it up, and then start using the 20 ways to connect with them. Okay, question I'm often asked is, do I connect only with my targeted prospects? So do I connect only with those people who I would like to do business with or who I can do business with? The answer is no. You need to connect with anybody and everybody. You need to build a network as big as you can so that you find your target audience within that. For example, those who might be interested in doing business with British expats may well think that the only people they should connect with are British expats. But let me give you an example. My wife, who's also on LinkedIn, is from the Philippines. And the assumption there would be that Genevieve only knows people from the Philippines. But in actual fact, she works for a big conference company, and within that conference company, there are many British expats. So you don't know who people know. So never assume that people who are not British don't know lots of British people. The bigger your network, the greater the chance you'll get of connecting with the people who ultimately you probably want to do business with. How many people are on LinkedIn? There's 225 million. How many of those are in the UAE? Over 1 million. Okay, so there's plenty of people within the UAE to connect with. How many expats, British expats, are there, for example, in the UAE? Something like 240,000. My best estimate would be that maybe 200,000 of those would actually be on LinkedIn. So there's plenty of connecting to be done out there. And if you're a good networker, you work your network and you help people, you'll get what you want, which is generating sales leads. Okay, so 20 ways to connect with your targets on LinkedIn. Number 1, add connections. Use the add connections. Go to the network and add connections. And somewhere on your computer, your laptop, or wherever, you're going to belong probably to something like Hotmail or Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo. You pick whichever one that you normally use. LinkedIn will ask you for an email address or a login and password, and it will then generate invitations to all those people that you have on those particular platforms. Okay, so it's a nice, easy, quick way to send invitations to people that you already know. Probably a good idea before that is to make sure that you don't send invitations to people that really you don't want to connect with, or there may be some embarrassment for whatever reason. So do your homework first of all. But that's a nice, easy way to get invitations out and start building your network. Number 2, cross-link your LinkedIn profile address to your other social media profiles. For example, on Facebook. So on Facebook, in your About, you should make sure that you've got your information for LinkedIn. So people who checking you out on Facebook will hopefully see that you're on LinkedIn, and they'll connect with you there or send you an invitation at least. So if you go to an About, there's mine on Facebook, and just make sure it's added in there somewhere, your LinkedIn profile URL. Okay, so of course Facebook's a bit slow, but I'm sure you get the drift. So make sure it's in there, make sure your URL's in there. Grab the URL from LinkedIn. So if you go, for example, this is my profile coming up. Down in this area here is a URL. If you actually copy that and paste it in at the top, it will actually give you a www URL, and that's the one I would use in Facebook, for example. Just copy it and put it into Facebook. Okay, that's number 3, get introduced through a connection. So if there's somebody out there that you're particularly interested in, let's have a look. Let's try the Fund Advisors guys. So I need to find a second degree connection, because obviously a first degree connection are people I'm already interested in and already connected to as well. So let's find the second degree connection so I can illustrate how to get an introduction. Okay, let's just come down here. So this is a list of the guys who work at Fund Advisors, for example. Most of these guys have first degree connection with. If I go to the very end, I'm bound to find somebody here, for example, James. I have a second degree connection with James. So there's somebody between me and James who can help us get introduced, yeah? So if we come to the drop down next to the send in mail, it says get introduced. We click on that, and then that will give us a number of people who we can go through to reach James. And what you need to do is choose one and then put a personal message in there. So for example, if I was going to ask Nick to help me, hey Nick, would you mind passing this message on to James? I'd like to connect with him. I think we can help each other. Thanks for your time. Best wishes, John. Okay? So that's getting an introduction through a connection. Number 4, join groups, because targets are in those groups and message them. So there'll be many people that you can't connect to because you don't know them personally, but you actually want to get connected. So let's say, for example, James is one of those examples. I would go and find a group that James is in. So I'll come down the bottom here and I find groups. And I think, okay, the British, let's have a look, Dubai Media, which I'm a member of, and Dubai Network. Let's go into Dubai Media Club. Okay, and I would join this group if I wasn't already a member. Now, the good thing about that is, in many cases, you can now message people or email them within LinkedIn, which you weren't able to do before. So James and I are not connected, but because I've joined the same group as him, it now allows me to send James a message because I'm a member of that group. What will happen is, when I check out his profile, for example, it will allow me to send a message. Now, this won't apply to all people, because some people in their settings still don't allow group members to connect or to contact them via LinkedIn. But my guess is 70-80% of people who join groups do allow people to message them because they're members of that group. So that's a great way of getting connected. When you do message people, you have no entitlement to send them an invitation to connect. So really you need to let them know why you're interested in them, maybe how you can help them, and then say something like this: I really would like to send you an invitation to connect. If I was to send that invitation, would you accept it? Now the good thing about this approach, you will get a yes or a no. If they say yes, then send them an invitation to connect, no problem. And if they say no, then don't send it. But the good thing about it is you're not going to get into any trouble. You need to find out the answer to the question before you actually do it. And I'm sure you'll understand that. Be on the groups and be active on the groups as well. Number 5, search company website for email addresses and ask, can you invite them to LinkedIn? So it might be that we know the name of somebody that we're particularly interested in. We'll go and find their company website and see if they get a mention on there, and maybe their email address will be on there as well. So maybe drop them a line, let them know why you're interested in them. Let them know that you're on LinkedIn and ask the same question. If I was to send you an invitation to connect for LinkedIn, would you accept it? If you get a yes, then send it. If you get a no, then don't send it. But these are ways to avoid getting yourself into trouble with LinkedIn, and quite rightly too. Number 6, find the target's Facebook accounts and message them. So I have no idea if James here, for example, has a LinkedIn, Facebook account. So I want to give it a go. So we've got a few James Marks in here. Okay. I can't find them on there. But if I was looking for Genevieve, for example, I would put her details in there. Genevieve Barrios, and there she is. Now, Facebook is a little bit like LinkedIn. doesn't allow you just to send invitations to everybody. You really only should send invitations to people that you know, or people that you already know will accept your invitation. Otherwise, again, on Facebook, you're going to get yourself into trouble. But in this kind of instance, what I would do is send Genevieve a message. So I'll click on the message button. A little email template will come up, and we'll say, "Hi Genevieve, I see that you work for XYZ company. I'm particularly interested in a certain area which you might be able to help me with. Would you mind if I sent you an invitation to connect on LinkedIn?" And again, if she says yes, send it. If she says no, then don't send it. But that's another casual way of asking the same question, and you'll find that people, when they're on Facebook, they're a little bit more relaxed and casual about things, so you might be able to get a conversation going there as well. Okay, the same applies to Twitter. So if you've got a Twitter account and you're looking to find Genevieve Barrios, you would log into your Twitter account and you would go and search for Genevieve Barrios. Now, the great thing about Twitter is this: you don't need to know anybody personally to follow them on there. You can follow anybody you like on Twitter, and if they follow you back, which many people do, then you can start a conversation. So I'm going to put in Genevieve Barrios. See if I can spell it right first of all. There she is, Jenny Barrios. Okay, and I would simply follow, I'm already following Jen, but I would simply follow Jen. Maybe check in a couple of days later to see if she's followed me back. If she's followed me back, then I can send her a direct message from Twitter. I can just send her a direct message here. "Hi Jen, really interested in the kind of work that you do, blah blah. If I was to send you an invitation to connect on LinkedIn, etc., etc." If she doesn't come back to me because she may be busy and all the rest of it, I can then send her a tweet. So I would just put in Jen's email, Twitter account, which I think is Jenny_Barrios. And then a message: "Hey Jen, love the work you do. Let's connect." Smiley face. Okay, and then tweet it. And Jen hopefully will pick that one up. At least we'll respond to you and ask why you're interested, and that's an opportunity for you to let her know why you're interested in connecting, and hopefully you'll be successful. So it's another easy way of getting a hold of your targeted connections without breaking any rules. Number 8, be an open networker. Search for open networkers. So be an open networker, what does that really mean? Well, we all know what the rules are on LinkedIn. You can only connect with people that you know. But then a lot of people said, well, I'm an open networker. I will accept all invitations to connect from wherever they come. Now the beauty of this is people who know that will send you invitations to connect, and that will obviously increase your network. And because we know it's good to connect with as many people as we can, this has obviously got to be a good idea. So in my own profile, for example, I let people know I'm an open networker. So if you come down to my summary, there we go, I've said open networker. So anybody who reads that will know that they can send me an invitation to connect, and I will accept it. I will never hit the IDK, the I don't know button. I will always honor that invitation. This is a very powerful way of growing connections as well. You can also go to the People Advanced Search and use keywords such as Open Networker, which I've done before, and search in the UAE, for example. And this should give us a list of people who are open networkers in the UAE. And these should be people that you can send invitations to. So we can see there's 60 there. Now, I would never assume that because the keyword open networker in a profile that they are open networkers. Go in, you must go in and check. It could be that those two words are in there because they say, I really don't want to be an open networker. So go in and make sure that they really are open networkers. There's no shortcuts. You have to do a little bit of work. I would do an edit and find and put in open networker, because I'm only going to send an invitation if I'm totally convinced. And hey, in the headline here, Abhishek is an open networker without doubt. Okay, so he's saying, do send me invitations to connect. Now, he's probably, he's in the UAE. He may not be from the UK. He's probably from maybe India or Pakistan, but he probably knows people from the UK. So he's a good guy to connect with. Click on contact info, and when you send him an invitation to connect, there's his email address there which you can use. So copy that, and I'm already connected to the guy, but in your case you may not be, and it will say connect. There'll be a connect button there, and it'll give you options. How do you know the guy? And one of the options is friend. Because you've got his email address, it proves that you know him. Okay, so pop the email address in there, send the invitation. If there's no email address there, it could be that you're in the same group, or you just say, I know them through my work or my business. But in the message that goes with it, you have an opportunity to add a personal note, and you must do that as well. So let me go back and find, was it James Marks, for example? Right, that's not the right guy. Okay, let me just quickly go and find James again. Companies. Yeah, you must put a personal note in there, because being connected is not a small thing. And we have to give people the courtesy that they deserve, and we are wanting to connect, not because we want numbers, but we do actually want to develop networking relationships as well. So even with open networkers, you want to show that professional respect. So down here we've got James, and let's assume James is an open networker, which hopefully soon he will be. We click on the connect button, and how do you know James? Well, we can check any of these buttons here. It might be we check friend. If he knows the email address, put it in there. Or groups, so we've done business together from, let's say, Drive Social Media. And so this box is really important. I would put something extra in like, hi James, I'm an open networker too. I am open networker too. Please don't IDK. You might think we're going over the top a little bit, but we don't want any problems with LinkedIn. Okay, so we want to be 100% sure with James to let him know that I'm also an open networker. I don't want any issues with LinkedIn. IDK means I don't know, so they'll never hit the I don't know button. The worst thing that they could do is reject it. That's not going to get me into any trouble. But if they hit the I don't know 3 or 4 times, if that happens, I could have a bit of a problem. Okay? So make sure, and this is always a good thing to make your messages personal anyway. Okay, so that's, what was that? That was number 8, I think. Be an open network and search for open network as an advanced search. In UAE, I think there was 60 or so open networkers there. In some of the bigger countries, we'll be talking thousands. Number 9 is join an open networking group. So, such as the popularity of being an open network, groups have been set up. So if we go to the search box again, we click on groups, we can actually find out what open network groups there are, and we can go in and join them. So when you go in and join these groups, lots of people are wanting to connect with you, which can't be a bad thing. Some of them actually produce weekly lists of people to connect with. So you can see here, there's a top link group there with 120,000 participants. So in theory, there's 120,000 people who are open to invitations. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut in terms of sending invitations, apart from the email list, which you can upload. But if you see, what you should be thinking about here is, if I can add maybe 100 people a week to my network, after 1 year that's 5,000. And if I'm in the financial services game, for example, if I've got a good working network of 5,000 and I'm active, will that generate leads, sales leads for me? And I'm sure the answer must be yes. So I'll have a look through the groups. There might be 1 or 2 which are more interesting than not, applicable to you as well. So, if you have an interest in real estate, that might be interesting. Probably what you're looking for are groups which are nearer to home. So you might be looking for something which says Middle East or GCC or wherever. I mean, the good news is, I thought of a bright idea, which is we shall develop a group for open networkers in the GCC. So we'll attract people to that group, and that'll give you plenty of opportunities to get more connections as well. So watch out for that one soon. A new open networkers group for the Gulf states. Okay, number 10, be active on groups. So if you're going to join a number of groups, I suggest you join groups where your networking and sales prospects are. There's no sense in joining lots of groups for fellow professionals. That's not really going to help you very much. So if you're in financial services, you really want to be joining groups with Dubai in, or the UAE, or United Arab Emirates. So we put in Dubai as a keyword search. There we go, Dubai recruitment. Over 300,000 members of that group. Dubai Business Network, over 70,000 members. Recruit Dubai, 31,000. Dubai Professionals Forum, 19,000. So there's quite a few of these groups I would be tempted to join. There's lots of people in there, hopefully lots of discussions, and you need to be there and be active. So either generate new discussions or go and comment and talk to people on there. Reply to discussions, reply privately, until you feel comfortable enough to say, hey, if I was to send you an invitation to connect, would you accept it? So Dubai, Abu Dhabi, UAE, United Arab Emirates, get in plenty of those groups, be active, give value, generate some discussions when you feel confident enough, and you will connect with people right there. Okay, number 11, status updates daily. So everybody's got 5 minutes every day. It could be the beginning of the day, it could be the end of the day. Write a status update about yourself, just something in there that is interesting, that is useful to other people. It could even be a bit of humour. More often than not, something that you've shared. So, for example, if you see something interesting on your company page, share it right here. Now, if you do that every day, you will appear to your network on a regular basis, and people will make comments about what you're sharing. People will like what you're sharing. Gives you an opportunity then to say hello at least. You know, thanks for the like, thanks for the comment, generate some kind of conversation, and then ask the question. If I was to send you an invite to connect. So the more active you are, the better. But a good place to start here really is with your company page. So let's say it was Fund Advisors. So go to the Fund Advisors page. Check out the content that's being posted there. If there's something that you particularly like, could be 29 reasons why you should be blogging and not watching TV. Okay, you might like that. If you click on like, that will now appear as an update, status update for your profile. Okay, people will like it, people will comment on it. Try and generate a conversation so you can ask the vital question. Okay, otherwise put in the challenges, your thoughts for the day. You know, shout and rant if you have to. But just make sure that you're out and about and seen to be out and about. Okay, number 12, add your LinkedIn profile address to your email signature. So everybody's got an email account. Make sure that you've got a signature block, which includes your social media links as well. And quite often when you're dealing with people for different reasons, they say, oh, I see you're on LinkedIn. Say, yeah, would you like me to send you an invitation to connect? So don't miss that opportunity. Number 13, for those of you who are self-employed especially, you need to ask yourself the question, can I get more from LinkedIn? Can I upgrade? And the answer is yes, you can upgrade. And when you upgrade with LinkedIn, you get bigger, more extensive search results. So you can build your database of targets, and you're also going to get access using the InMail system to people that you're not connected to. And these could be particularly important targets that you may have. So now, because you spend $30 or $40 per month, you're now getting access via email on LinkedIn to people normally you can't get hold of, can't connect with. And as a self-employed person, I think it's an investment that you really should undertake. So my advice, go do it. Number 14, comment on profile updates from the companies that you follow. So although you may belong to a company yourself, you may have an interest in other companies, could be in your industry, they may not be. If you go to interest in companies, it should tell you how many companies you're following. So hit the following button. I'm actually following 20 companies. Sometimes people have sent me invitations, please follow our company page, and if it's of interest, I do. So what you do, you go into each one of these, maybe once a week, and see what's going on. And where relevant, make a comment or like, and hopefully people will come back to you and say, thanks for the like, thanks for the comment, develop a conversation until you ask the vital question, may I send you an invitation? Number 15, on Twitter, for example, monitor hashtags which are particularly important. So if you're a Twitter user, you're probably all aware of hashtags. They're basically places where people meet to discuss like-minded things. If I put hashtag Dubai there, all those people who are talking about Dubai will put hashtag Dubai in their tweet or their message. So what I'm going to do is find out who's been doing that. Again, you're going to find people who may be of interest to you, or even organizations that might be of interest to you. And you can have a little chat with them about what's going on in the world, what's going on in Dubai, but also what you will get on here, and I've done it many times myself, you will actually get leads. People do come on Twitter and say things like, does anybody know where I can get good advice on a pension or on car insurance or whatever it might be? Now, it may well be that they want some help or advice on something other than your business, but if you can go back to them and help them, then you've got an opportunity to ask the vital question, can we connect on LinkedIn? Okay, number 16, business cards. When you've got most people got business cards. Make sure that you've got all your details on there, obviously, but most especially your email address that you use for LinkedIn. And it's ideal when you're exchanging business cards just to ask the question, do you mind if I ask you, are you on LinkedIn? They say yes. Would you mind if I sent you an invitation to connect? So again, this is in real life. Get the answer before you actually do it. I've never come across anybody who said no, not face to face ever. 17. Attend offline network events, collect cards and invites. This is something I've tried to do myself at times. So you have these networking events around places like Dubai. You go along, you try and meet as many people as you can. You pick up business cards, you exchange them, and it's all a bit noisy, confusing. The next day or the day after, you've got these people to talk to. If you're not too sure, send them an email. If you're fairly confident, send them an invitation to connect. Make sure you put a personal message in. Great to meet you Monday night. Such a hotel for the networking event. But it's a great way to pick up new connections as well. I should be up to number 18. Share great content everywhere. You're going to find the best quality connections you'll achieve is by doing that. Lots of great content, sharing, being helpful, giving advice, sharing great stuff from your company pages, from other companies, from Facebook pages, and people will like, people will comment, and really that's all you want. So great content wherever you can. Number 19, join traditional networking organizations and check out their Facebook and LinkedIn pages and groups. So a couple of examples in Dubai would be the BBG, the British whatever group, who are very active, and BNI, who are also very, very active as well. So you may well have some connections in there. You might belong to it anyway. But go and join their groups on Facebook and LinkedIn. And again, be active on those groups and Facebook pages, and you will pick up connections from there, without a doubt. So for example, I know there's a BNI group on LinkedIn, BNI Middle East. I know that because I set it up. So there's the group. And let's just see how many members are in there. And these are networkers, so there's 999 members on there. And these guys are networkers, that's what they do. So it shouldn't be too difficult to connect with those kind of guys. Okay, so that's BNI Middle East. Okay, so there's 19. Number 20 is, if none of those work or you need more than those 19, then do ask me. So ask John, and we'll see if we can be creative in finding new ways of getting your connections on LinkedIn. But I hope you find all that useful. If you've got any questions, then come to me via LinkedIn or come to me via Facebook. That's me again, John McGran. Okay, my contact details are there on LinkedIn. If you want to have a good chat, then we can do it on Skype. So appreciate your comments, appreciate your feedback. Go get some networking results, go get some connections. Let me know how you're doing, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.